Hi everyone, welcome back to Singing How to Study Chinese. This is HSK Level 1 course, and I'm your teacher Ronnie. Today we are going to learn Lesson 6, 第6课，我会说汉语，我会说汉语, which means I can speak Chinese. Okay, now let's first move on to our warm-up part. There are two groups as usual. First is the picture and there are some new words. So first, let's focus on the new words. First one is mama. Mama. Read after me, please. Mama. Mama. It means mother. Mother. Okay, next one. 汉字. 汉字. It means Chinese character. Chinese character, not the language. The word we say, we write, okay, Chinese character. Next one is 中国菜. 中国菜. 中国, we already know, it means China. And Cai is today's new word. It means dish or cuisine. Dish or cuisine. Next one, 说汉语. 说汉语. 说 means speak. And 汉语 means Chinese, the language. So 说汉语 is speak Chinese language. Next one, 写汉字. Try to guess what does this mean. 写 is a verb and 汉字 we learned here, it means Chinese character. 写汉字 actually means writing Chinese character. Okay, write Chinese character. Last one, 做中国菜. 中国菜 is Chinese dish. So 做中国菜, 做 means make something. So 做中国菜 is cook Chinese dish. Okay, try to fill in the blanks. I will give you 10 seconds, okay? Okay, time's up. Let's see the answers. First one, mama. Mama. Which one can be mama? Which one? I think the most obvious one is F, right? F. And I think D and E can be mama too. Maybe, right? Maybe. And let's see, 汉字. Which one is 汉字? A, obviously. A and which one? D. She is writing. Okay, she is writing. Next one, 中国菜. Which one is? B. B is 中国菜. Next, 说汉语, speak Chinese. Yes. C, they're saying 你好 to each other. And next one, 写汉字 is D, obviously. And 做中国菜 is E, cooking. Okay, now let's move on to our first text. So first, new words as usual. First, 会. This word, 喝味会. The initial 喝, the final 味, and the tone is the first tone. 喝味会. Read after me, please. 会. It means can, be able to. It is a modal verb. So whenever you want to say you can do something in Chinese, okay, then you can use 会 and plus a verb. Okay, 会 something. For example, can speak Chinese. In the topic, today's lesson's topic is 我会说汉语. 会说 means speak. 会说汉语 means can speak Chinese. Okay, this is 会. And the negative form of this 会 is to put a 不 before it. And how to read it? It is 不会 or 不会. It is 不会 because of the tone sandy of 不. When 不 is before a fourth tone syllable, it will change to second tone. 不会. Okay, this is 会. Next one is 说是我说. The initial is sh, the final is wo, and the tone is the first tone. So put them together. 是我说. Read after me, please. 说 it means speak, to say, to speak, to say. So speak Chinese is 说汉语. Hanyu is Chinese. 说汉语. Okay. So Americans, they speak English, right? So English is 英语 in Chinese. 英语. Okay, 英语. Read after me, please. 英语. It means English. So how to say speak English? It is 说英语, right? 说英语. So anything you wanna say, you can put the thing after 说, okay? After 说plus a verb, 说plus a noun, okay? So try to say Chinese speak Chinese. Try to translate this sentence. Chinese speak Chinese. It is 中国人说汉语, right? 中国人说汉语. 中国人 means human, person, okay? 中国人 means Chinese people. Chinese people speak Chinese is 中国人说汉语. Okay, American people speak English. Try to translate this sentence. American people speak English. It is, how to say American? We've learned it before. It is 美国人, okay? 美国人说英语, right? 说英语, we've learned it. 美国人说英语. 中国人说汉语. Okay, this is about 说, speak, to say. Last one is mama. It means mother. And the second ma is a neutral tone, okay? We've learned about the rules of what? The rules of neutral tone before, and there are many words like kinship. For example, mama, 爸爸, 爷爷, 奶奶, okay? This is mama, mother. So now let's read from the start, each four twice. 3, 2, 1. 会说妈妈. Very good. Now let's move on to our text. I will read and please listen carefully about the pronunciation. 你会说汉语吗？我会说汉语。你妈妈会说汉语吗？她不会说。Okay, let's see sentence by sentence. First one, 你会说汉语吗？ Okay, let's see the structure. First one, 你 is the subject of this sentence, right? 你, you. 会说 means can speak, right? Can speak. We just learned these two new characters in the new words. And 汉语 means Chinese, the language. And ma is the interrogative pronoun, interrogative particle. Okay, every time we see a ma, we can see it is a question, right? Question. So we can see here the structure, the subject plus the verb plus an object and plus a ma is the question. So we can see in Chinese, most of the questions has the same word order of the declarative sentences, right? It is the subject plus the verb plus the object. Okay, 你会说汉语吗? It means, can you speak Chinese? Next sentence, 我会说汉语. I can speak Chinese. I can, okay, I can. So 我 the subject plus 会 plus 说 can speak and plus the object 汉语 I can speak Chinese. Next sentence. 你妈妈会说汉语吗？你妈妈 actually is 你的妈妈 your mother, right? But because mama is a kinship to 你, so we can omit 的 here. So we just simplified 你的妈妈 to 你妈妈. Okay, 你妈妈 is the subject of this whole sentence. And 会说 can speak 汉语 can speak Chinese. Can your mother speak Chinese is the meaning of this one. And B answered, 他不会说. Okay, this is the negative form of 会 with 不会, which means can't. She cannot speak. She cannot speak. Okay, now let's try to read it from the start. Okay, read after me. 你会说汉语吗？我会说汉语。你妈妈会说汉语吗？她不会说。Okay, now let's try to read it in rows. I will be A and you will be B, okay? 3, 2, 1. 你会说汉语吗？你妈妈会说汉语吗？ Okay, let's switch the role, okay? You will be A, I will be B. 3, 2, 1. 我会说汉语。他不会说。Very good. This is the text 1. Now let's move on to text 2. Okay, we can see there are 4 new words. First one is 菜. 菜. We've seen it in the warm-up part, which means dishes and cuisine. So, 菜. Read after me. 菜. 菜. 是爱菜. The initial is 是 and the final is I. The tone is fourth tone. And try to say Chinese dish. Chinese dish. Still remember the word in the warm-up part? Chinese dish. It is 中国菜. Yes, 中国菜. Okay, try to say American dish. American dish. 美国菜, right? 美国菜. Okay, very good. So we can see which country's dish you want to say. You just need to put the country before 菜. Before 菜. Okay, so how to ask about which country's dish? Which country's dish? Still remember how to say which? We've learned it before. Which is 哪, okay, 哪, and country is 国. So which country's dish is actually 哪国菜, okay? 哪国菜. Read after me. 哪国菜, 哪国菜. Okay, this is the question about how to ask which country's dish. So how to say which country's dish do you eat? Which country's dish do you eat? We said the word order of question in Chinese are mostly the same as the declarative sentences. So first, what should we put at the beginning of the sentence? It is the subject, which is you, right? The person. I am asking about which country's dish do you eat? So I will put you at the beginning. So 你. And then we need a predicate. We need a verb, which is eat, right? How to say eat in Chinese? It is 吃一吃 okay 你吃哪国菜 is the right answer 你吃哪国菜 it is the question about which country's dish do you wanna eat 你吃哪国菜 now let's try to answer this question I eat Chinese dish this one is really easy I eat Chinese dish this one is 我吃中国菜 okay 我吃中国菜 I eat Chinese dish and what kind of any kind of dish do you want to replace you can just put in the country okay in the country for example 美国菜 okay this is about 菜 next one is 很 很 read after me please 很 it is a third tone word and it is an adverb. It actually is an adverb of degree, which means very, quite. So anything you want to say and want to describe the degree of it, you can just put 很 before the adjective. For example, 好 means good. 好 means good in Chinese. When I want to say very good, then I can just say 很好. I put 很 before 好. 很好, very good. So this is the structure of it. Put 很 before the adjective. Okay? Now let's move on to next. 好吃 好 which I said it means good and 吃一吃 means eat it eats good which means it tastes good and it means the thing is delicious so it is an adjective which means delicious tasty 好吃 read after me please 好吃 delicious so try to say very delicious very delicious is 很好吃 right 很好吃 we just need to put 好吃 after 很 okay 很好吃 and if I want to say not delicious how to say that the negative form of it we usually use 不 right 不 this word so we just need to put 不 before 好吃 then it is 不好吃 which means not delicious. Okay, try to say Chinese dish is very delicious. Chinese dish is very delicious. 中国菜 is the subject, so we put it at the beginning. So 中国菜很好吃。中国菜很好吃 is the right answer. Try not to say 中国菜是很好吃。Some students like to say this sentence in this way, like to put 是 inside because they think the sentence needs a verb as a predicate. But in Chinese, the adjectives can act as a predicate too. So we don't need 是 here, okay? And I will talk about it in details later in the language point part. So now let's move on to next word, which is 做. 做. The initial is 字 and the final is 我 and the tone is the fourth tone. Read after me, please. 做. It means to make, to produce. So cook is 做菜. It actually is make dishes, make cuisines. So 做菜 is cook. 做菜 cook. So cook Chinese dish is 做中国菜 and cook American dish 做美国菜. Okay, try to ask a question. Cook what dish? Listen carefully. It is not cook which country's dish. It is cook what dish. Cook what dish? Try to think about the interrogative pronoun word we've learned before. So the answer is 做什么菜? 什么? Okay, 什么 is the interrogative pronoun we've learned before, which means what? 什么 Okay, 什么 And ma is the neutral tone. Please pay attention to it. 什么 Read after me, please. 什么 And cook what dish is 做什么菜做什么菜 Okay, this is all for text tools. New words. Now let's try to read it from the start, each for twice. 3, 2, 1. 菜菜很好吃做 Okay, now let's move on to the text. I will read it for once. Please listen carefully. 中国菜好吃吗？中国菜很好吃。你会做中国菜吗？我不会做。Okay, let's see it sentences by sentences. Okay, first sentence is 中国菜好吃吗？ Without this 吗，中国菜好吃 is an declarative sentence, which means Chinese dish is very delicious. And if I put this ma after it, then this becomes a question, which means, is Chinese dish delicious? Right? Is Chinese dish delicious? Okay, next be answered. 中国菜很好吃。中国菜很好吃。Chinese dish are very delicious. 很好吃，很好吃。We can see in this sentence there are no verbs here, right? Verb here. Some people like to put 是 here because 是 means to be, right? Be. And in English, Chinese dish is delicious. There is an is here. So some students like to put 是 inside, but there is no need to put it, okay? No need. Just say 中国菜很好吃, very delicious. Okay, next sentence. 你会做中国菜吗？你会做中国菜吗？会 here appeared again, which means can, be able to do something. Okay, 会做 means can cook. So can you cook Chinese dish? Can you cook Chinese food? Okay, 你有会做中国菜吗？ A question. B said, 我不会做。I can't. I cannot cook. I cannot cook. Okay, now let's read it from the start. Read after me, please. 中国菜好吃吗？中国菜很好吃。你会做中国菜吗？我不会做。Okay, now let's read it in rows. Okay, I will be A, you will be B. 中国菜好吃吗？你会做中国菜吗？ Okay, very good. Let's switch the role. You will be A and I will be B. 3, 2, 1. 中国菜很好吃。我不会做。Very good. Excellent. Now let's move on to text 3. There are more new words than before. Let's just see. First one is 写 The initial is xi, the final is ye, and the tone is third tone. 写 It means to write. So if you want to say write anything, just put the thing after 写, okay? Next one is 汉字 汉 字义字 Read after me, please. 汉字 It means Chinese character. And Chinese language is 汉语 not 字汉语 so as we can see 字 actually means character which is the third new word 字 means character word 汉字字 okay now try to say write Chinese character write Chinese character write Chinese character is 写汉字 okay 写汉字 is write Chinese character now try to say write character write character it is 写字 right 写字写字 okay try to say write name write name see any one of you still remember it 写 what write name we've learned it before name it is 写名字写名字摸赢名字义字 okay 名字 read after me please 名字 it means name so right name is 写名字写名字 now try to say one Chinese character one Chinese character is it 一汉字一汉字 we need a measure word between so it is 一个汉字个 is a very useful general measure word okay 一个汉字 then how to say how many Chinese characters how many Chinese characters it is how many how to say that it's 几个 yes 几个汉字几个汉字 and try to say learn Chinese character learn Chinese character it is 学汉字学 it means to learn to study okay 学汉字西学学 okay 学汉字 and one character not 汉字 one character just 字 it is 一个字一个字 and how many characters 几个字 very good now let's move on to next new word which is 怎么怎么字 n 怎么么怎么么 is neutral tone it means how 怎么 read after me please 怎么怎么怎么 how so for example how to write is 怎么写 how to write is 怎么写 and how to eat is 怎么吃 yes 怎么吃 next one last new word is 得无读 which means to read okay read after me 读 it means to read so read Chinese characters is 读汉字 so anything you want to read you just put it after 读 okay 读 plus a noun means read something and read book is 读书 书 is a noun we've seen before it means book 食物书读书 means read book okay now let's try to read it from the start each for twice okay 3 2 1写汉字字怎么读 very good now let's move on to the text I will read and please listen carefully 你会写汉字吗？我会写。这个字怎么写？对不起，这个字我会读，不会写。Okay, now let's see. First sentence is 你会写汉字吗？ 你会写会 structure appeared again, which means can do something. 会写 can write. 会写汉字 can write Chinese, and ma means this is a question. Can you write Chinese characters? And B said 我会写 I can write. I can write. 我会写 And 这个字怎么写？这个 means this. 个 is a very general measure word, and please pay attention to the 个 here. It is a neutral tone. Okay, 这个 not 这个 is 这个 Okay, 这个字怎么写 This character, how to write it? And how to write 怎么写 How to write 怎么写这个字 And be answered 对不起 Still remember this word 对不起 It means sorry 对不起 And 不 is a neutral term Okay, neutral term too And let's see 这个字我会读 This character I can read 不会写 Okay, I can read 我会读不会 is the negative form of 会不会 I can't write Okay, it means sorry I can read this word but I cannot write it Okay, now let's try to read it from the start 3, 2, 1你会写汉字吗我会写这个字怎么写？对不起，这个字我会读，不会写。Okay, now I will be A and you will be B. 3, 2, 1. 你会写汉字吗？这个字怎么写？Okay, very good. Now let's switch the role. I will be B and you will be A. 3, 2, 1. 我会写。对不起，这个字我会读，不会写。Okay, these are all for today's text. Now let's move on to our language point. The first one is the modal verb 会, which means can, be able to do something. It actually indicates the ability you acquired through learning. Okay, by learning you acquired an ability, and we can say 会. And 会, the structure of 会 is the subject plus 会 and plus a verb, right? 会做某事，会 do something, 会 do something. And the negative form of it is to add a 不 before it. Okay, now let's see the examples. First example here is 我会写汉字。我会写汉字。I can write Chinese characters. 我 is the subject. 会 can. 写 means write and 汉字 is the object for 写. I can write Chinese characters. Okay, let's see second example. 我不会做中国菜。I can't cook Chinese dish. Let's see. 我 is the subject. 我 is the one who is doing this thing. 我不会 It means I can't, right? It is the negative form of 会 And 做中国菜做 make something 做菜 cook And 做中国菜 to cook Chinese dish. I cannot cook Chinese dish. 我不会做中国菜。Okay, last one is a question. 你妈妈会说汉语吗？ Your mother, can she speak Chinese? Okay, the subject for this sentence is 你妈妈, which is a little bit longer, and 会 can 说汉语 speak Chinese, and we put a 妈 after it, which makes it a question. So we can say if we wanna ask about a question about 会不会 can or not, then we just need to put a 妈 after this sentence. Okay, 妈 someone 会 something 吗 somebody 会 something 吗 This is the structure. For example, 你会说汉语吗 Right? Can you speak Chinese? 你会说汉语吗 This is the structure of the modal verb 会. It is really easy. Okay, now let's move on to next one is sentences with an adjectival predicate, which means the adjectives can be the predicate in a sentence. So in Chinese, the adjectives can be a predicate, but there is a condition. There should be an adverb of degree before the adjective. Okay, just like the structure showed here. The subject plus an adverb of degree plus an adjective. Then at this moment, in this situation, this part is the predicate of the sentence without the verb. Okay, now let's see the example. First example is 我很好. I'm very good. 我很好. In English, I am very good. There is an am between I and very good. But in Chinese, we can see 我很好. There's nothing in between 我 and 很好, right? 我很好. And 很, we said before, it means very, quite, which is an adverb of degree. 我很好. Next one. 我妈妈的汉语不好. 我妈妈的汉语不好. The subject of this sentence is a little bit long, which is 我妈妈的汉语. 我妈妈的汉语 means my mother's Chinese, okay? My mother's Chinese. And the adverb of degree here is 不. Actually, this is the negative form of this structure. So in negative form of the structure, we will replace the adverb of degree with 不. Okay, just replace it. No adverb of degree. We just put 不 in this position and then put the adjective after it. So 我妈妈的汉语不好. My mother's Chinese is not good. It's not good. Okay, the last example. 中国菜很好吃. 中国菜很好吃. Chinese dish is very delicious. 很, again, the adverb of degree. Okay, 好吃 means delicious. So Chinese dish is very delicious. And pay attention. There must be an adverb of degree before the adjective when you want the adjective act as a predicate. For example, like this. 我很好. I am very good. I'm good. You cannot say 我好 in Chinese. That is not right. You must put an adverb of degree before the adjective 好. You can say 我很好 instead of 我好. Okay? This is the sentences with an adjectival predicate. Really easy. Just pay attention to the adverb of degree or the 不. Okay? Next one is the interrogative pronoun 怎么, which means how. It is used to ask about the manner of an action. How this action happened? How is this action accomplished? For example, 这个汉字怎么读? 怎么读 means how to read it, right? How to read it. How to read this Chinese character. How to read it. Okay, now let's see another one. 你的汉语名字. 你的汉语名字. 汉语名字 means Chinese name. And 你的汉语名字 means your Chinese name. Okay, this is the subject of this whole sentence. And let's see 怎么写 how to write 写 is write. We just learned it today. So we can see the structure of 怎么 the interrogative pronoun 怎么 is 怎么 plus a verb after it. Okay, 怎么 plus a verb. Okay, I will write it bigger here. 怎么 plus a verb. This is the structure of it. Okay, now last one. Let's see. 这个字怎么写 How to write this Chinese character. 怎么写怎么 plus a verb 写 And okay, try to remember another interrogative pronoun we've learned before, which means what. It is 什么 right? 什么 One is 怎么 one is 什么 Okay, 什么 means what and 怎么 means how. And the differences between these two, the biggest one is 怎么 plus a verb and 什么 plus a noun. Okay, after 什么, there is always a noun. We are asking about what thing. And after 怎么 how, we will put a verb after it. Now let's move on to next part, which is answer the question according to the actual situation. Okay, so first question, 你会说汉语吗？你会说汉语吗？ Try to answer it. Okay, 你会说汉语吗 This means, can you speak Chinese? So the answer is 我会说汉语 or 我不会说汉语 But since this is already lesson, you've already learned 5 lessons, so you already can speak Chinese, right? So 我会说汉语 Next, 你会写汉字吗？你会写汉字吗？ Okay, I believe most of you can write. Even some of you think that you can't write, but still you can write right? E1 in Chinese. So, 我会写汉字 or 我不会写汉字. In this sentence, we are using the 会 structure. Okay, next one. 你会做中国菜吗？你会做中国菜吗？ Okay, the answer is 我会做中国菜 or 我不会做中国菜 Very good. Next one. 你有汉语名字吗？有 means have, so 你有汉语名字吗？ Do you have Chinese name? 我有汉语名字 or 我没有汉语名字 Okay, last question. 你会写你的汉语名字吗 If you have, 你会写你的汉语名字吗 Okay, the answer is 我会写 or 我不会写 Okay, now let's move on to the next part. Let's do some exercises. So first one, 我们都会 We 都 means all. So 我们都会 means we all can do something. So after 会 we should put a verb, right? Verb. So let's try to fill in the verbs here. Verbs today we've learned. So first we can speak Chinese. We can write Chinese characters and we can cook Chinese dish. Okay, let's try to fill in the blanks. First one, 我们都会说汉语 is okay, and 我们都会写汉字 and 我们都会做中国菜 There are so many different answers. You can put in anything you want. Okay, next one, 中国菜很中国菜 the subject, and here is an 很 which means very is an adverb of degree. and we can put what after it? An adjective, right? Let's try to put an adjective. 中国菜. It is a dish, so we can use 好吃 to describe it. So 中国菜很好吃, 很好吃. And 很好吃 is acting as an predicate in this sentence. Okay, next one. 他会做 what? 做 means to make. And today we've learned a special expression of 做, which is 做菜, right? 他会做菜, which means he can cook. And let's see, it looks like a Chinese bowl. Maybe he's cooking Chinese dish, so we can still put a 中国菜 in this blank. Okay, last one. 这个汉字我会 what? 不会 what? Okay, another way. We can put verbs after 会, right? So you can say 我会写不会读 or 我会读不会写。读 means read, 写 means write, okay? Now let's move on to the next part, which is the collocation in disyllabic words. Collocation in disyllabic words. Disyllabic words are really important parts in Chinese characters, okay? So if you can read them properly, you can read Chinese really smooth. If you can read them properly, you can read Chinese really smooth. Okay, let's see. These four words, some of them you already know. First one is 咖啡, which means coffee, 咖啡. And we can see here there are four tables, which indicates the pitch of the tone, okay, from 1 to 5. And we can see the first tones are on the highest pitch, almost 5, fifth pitch, okay, 咖啡, it means coffee. Next one is 公园, it means park, okay, park. 公园, 歌翁公一园园, read after me, 公园 it means park. And we can see the first tone is still the highest and the second tone is rising up. It rises from the 2 to the fifth to the fourth. From 2 to 4, it is rising. And the third tone, let's see, the third one is 机场. Okay, anybody still remember when we first learned the third tone? The picture of the third tone pitch is, it looks like this. It is 2, 1, 4. Right? The pitch dropped from 2 to 1 and it rises up to 4. But here it is 2, 1, 2 or say 2, 1, 1. It more look like 2, 1, 1. So actually this is the half third tone. When the third tone is in a collocation of other tones, it will change to half third tone. Okay, so it is not 机场, it is 机场. We will read it as 机场 in daily life. Okay, read after me, please. 机场, it means airport. 机场. Okay, last one is 车站, it means station. 车站, 车站, 车站. Okay, we can see there is nothing special, just the highest pitch for first tone and the rapidly dropped one for the fourth tone. So the only thing we need to pay attention to is the change of third tone. We will change it to half third tone, okay? Now let's move on to next part. let's practice. Read after me, okay? Don't pay too much attention on the meaning of it. We are just using these pronunciations, these pinyin to practice, okay? So first one, 今天,今天,今年,今年,精彩,精彩. Pay attention to it. It is a third tone. We need to read it as a half third tone, okay? 精彩. Next one, 车票,车票. Okay, we can see there are nothing special about other groups, other tones. So let's focus on to the third tone line. So next one is 操场,操场, 操,操场, 操场. Read it as the half the tone. Next one, manager, 经理, 经理, 经理. Last one is 开始, 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 not 开始, it's 开始, 开始, like 2-1-1. 始, 始. It's like this. Okay, this is the third tone when it is in a collocation of disyllabic words. Let's move on to next part, which is the strokes of Chinese characters for today. First one is 撇折,撇折. We can see there are a left falling first, right? Left falling and then a turning. It turned, okay? Try to write it with me. Left falling and turn it. Left falling and turn it. Let's see the example. First one in 么, 么 of 什么, okay? 什么, 么. You can see 么 is written like this, and this part is the 撇折, left falling turning, left falling to turning. And next one is 东, which means east. 德翁东. It is written like this. And we can see this part is the left falling to turning. And then a vertical hook and then two dots. This part is the left falling to turning. 撇折. Next one is slanting hook. 斜钩, slanting hook. It is written like this. Slanting hook. Don't write it like this, okay? It is wrong. It is slanting hook. Slanting hook. Let's see the example. First one is 我, I, me. This part is the slanting hook. Let's see. It is written like this. First left falling and then a horizontal and then a vertical hook. And then this thing we are going to learn next, which means T, rising. Rising and then a slanting hook and then a left falling dot. This part is the slanting hook. Next is 钱, which means money. Left falling, many horizontals and let's see slanting hook here and left falling and a dot. Slanting hook. Let's see, last stroke we are going to learn today is 提, 特一提. It is written in this direction, okay? Rising up. It looks a little bit like the mark of second tone, okay? Rising up. Let's see. So in 我 here, there is the 提. Next is 打, to beat, to hit. Let's see it. First a short horizontal, and then a vertical hook, and then a 提, rising. And then these things. This part is 提. Okay, let's write it again. First one is 撇折, left falling to turning, left falling to turning, 撇折. Next one is the slanting hook, 斜钩. And last one is 提, rising. Now let's move on to our single component characters. First one is 东, which means the east, opposite to the west. It actually means where the sun rises at the ancient time, and now it means the east. The east. Let's see the order of writing the strokes. First one, we will write a horizontal at the upper structure of this word, and then a left falling to turning, and then a vertical hook, and then two dots. Try to write it with me. Horizontal, left falling to turning, and then vertical hook and two dots. Horizontal, left falling to turning, vertical hook, two dots. Horizontal, left falling to turning, vertical hook, and then two dots. This is 东 east. Next one is 我 it means me. Actually, originally it looked like a weapon, and this part of 我 actually is the weapon. Okay, and try to write it with me. Let's see the order of this stroke. First one is a left falling, which is really not that. It is really like a horizontal, and then a horizontal, true horizontal, and then a vertical hook, and then a T rising, and then a slanting hook, and then a left falling, and then a dot. This one is a little bit complicated, so try to practice with me. First, a short left falling, and then a longer horizontal below it, and then a vertical hook, and then a rising. Okay, this rising must cross the vertical hook, and then a slanting hook, and then a left falling, and then a dot. Try to write it with me again. Left falling, horizontal, vertical hook, a rising, and then a slanting hook, left falling, dot. Again, left falling, horizontal, vertical hook, rising, left slanting hook, left falling, dot. Again, left falling, horizontal, vertical hook, rising, slanting hook, left falling, dot. Okay, this is 我, how to write 我. Next one is 西. 西 means west, opposite to 东. Okay, a shape like a bird's nest at the ancient time, and now it looks like this. Now let's see the stroke order. First one, not very long but not very short, horizontal, and then a vertical, and then a horizontal turning hook, and then a left falling, and then a vertical turning, curved one, and then write a horizontal to close it. Okay, try to write it with me. Horizontal, left falling, horizontal. Okay, write it with me again. This one is not that complicated. It is easy to write. And please, this horizontal shouldn't be longer than this one, okay? This one is shorter than this part, okay? Shorter. This one is shorter, this one is longer, okay? This is 西 west, 西 west. Okay, the last part of today's lesson is the structure of Chinese characters. There are single component and compound structures, okay? So, for example, these three are the single components, okay? And these are compound, really easy to see. You can see this one, 人, 我, and 中, we can see the strokes, they are crossing to each other. They are connected, right? Connected. But this one, 你, this, I will write it bigger. I can easily separate this word to two parts, right? This part and this part. And for 做, which means to make, to produce. Okay, let's see. I can separate it into how many parts? 3 parts, right? This one, and this one. So we can see it is really easy to see the differences between the single and compound structures in Chinese. So these are really easy to separate them into different parts. Okay, and in the compound characters, component characters, we can see there are radicals. Okay, there are radicals. And we are going to learn the radicals later in the later classes, okay? So these are all for today's class. Thanks for listening, and please practice writing and reading after class. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.